Why, hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler, and today I got a pretty big review for you. It's a review of the Wee Knives Mini Buster. So just going through this is the Wee Knives Mini Buster. First and foremost, this is titanium scales with a ton of milling going on, and even more milling going on the inside. It's just that there is pockets among pockets and racks on racks on racks and just everything you can imagine. I mean, look at all this. Look at that. There's just a ton. There we go. A ton of milling on the inside. So when somebody asks you why this knife costs what it costs, I mean, that's one of your easy answers is that the amount of work that goes into just doing all of these lines, all of this bead blasting, and then polishing after the bead blasting just looks absolutely phenomenal. You got this cutout here. It's a nice little weight relief, but it also gives kind of like a cool aesthetic. You can see your blade through there. That makes it kind of cool. The flipper tab, getting back to it, is actually kind of hard to get used to. By hard, I'm stretching it. It's not really hard to get used to. It's just small. But the cool thing is this is on double road bearings, and it feels oh so smooth. The detent is relatively weak. I can probably shake it out, but you don't need a strong detent with a short flipper tab. That's going to happen. If I had a strong detent, I would never be able to get this because there's not much leverage to get there. But because the detent's weak and you got those two rows of bearings, it really opens up just fine. And I don't think the weak detent is something that quality defect. I think that's done on purpose and for a reason. Right here we have a stop pin. And like I said, here is your pivot on multi-row bearings that I don't think you can see. Can't really see them. We got a what is this? Not a T6, hold on. I don't know what the hell size that is. I did not do my homework. Feels like a T8. Body screws are definitely T8. Interestingly enough, that pivot, even the pocket clip screws a T8. That's super sweet. Interestingly enough, that pivot is a T8 and it fits really, really tight. It's the only one that fits as tight as it does. Whereas all the others are coming in, you could get in there pretty good. Either way, it's a tight fit, and that's good. You want a tight fit, so you're not going to strip anything out. Not tight to a point where you have to pound it in there or anything, but... All right, jumping into this blade here. This is a sheep's foot style blade with a 20 CV blade stock. So, well, the alloy is 20 CV. It's a 20 CV steel blade. On the top we have it's a heavy chamfering, almost bringing it to a crown, like a rounded crown, but it's not quite rounded. It's just super heavy chamfering that takes the strength of the blade all the way down to this. And even though this comes down to a stupid narrow tip right there, it's just the tip. Everything else has so much blade stock standing behind it. It's just great. You have a lot of little jimping going on right there. Here you go. You have a lot of little jimping going on right there with this cool little swoop that I'm not sure what it is. I really don't know the purpose of that swoop. If somebody knows, let me know. Your thumb kind of falls into it, but it doesn't feel like a thumb. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be. Alright, sorry about that. Not quite sure we left off. I'm going to start back by talking about the blade, and this editing may be kind of weird. Kid got a little antsy. It was time for bed. So... this is a sheep's foot style blade with a chamfered top that almost comes to a crown. It's almost rounded off, and it actually comes a little bit deeper as it goes in. So it's taking off as much weight as possible. We have this little dip right here that I think it's just aesthetics. I'm not really sure what it does. I mean, I guess your thumb kind of falls into there nicely, but it just, I don't know. Some nice non-aggressive jimping right there. This annoys me. This is a sharpening choil that... I can barely get my fingertip in. I don't recommend it. This blade looks really, really sweet. Let me clean it off so that I can show how sweet this thing actually looks. Look at this. That bead blast finish isn't just bead blasted. That's bead blasted and then polished. and it looks, oh, so cool. This is a SNECX SNECX design. I believe this is some of their in-house designers, but somebody correct me. It's SNECX Labs too. I don't know exactly. I tried to look them up, and you got some information, but not too much. So in hand, this feels pretty good. Just want to say that. I know that's not really part of this part of it, but this does feel really good, and this titanium is just, this thing feels great. All right, so let's jump into some specs real quick, guys. So this is coming in at almost an even 4 ounces. For what you're getting out of this, that's pretty good for all titanium. They milled the crap out of it, double road bearings, and a relatively thick blade stock on that sheepsfoot style blade. Yeah. I'm not mad at the 4 ounce mark at all, nor does it really feel or carry like 4 ounces. All right, so the overall length of the wee mini buster here. This guy's coming in at an overall length of exactly 8 inches, the blade length of exactly 3.5 inches, and a cutting edge of just shy of 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches for a 4 ounce blade, but all titanium. I mean, are you mad at it? Because I am not. So speaking of something that isn't a good segue, let's see what this blade stock thickness is. Blade stock thickness is relatively thick, coming in at 155 thousandths, but in wee fashion, what did you guys manage to do here? You guys managed to bring it down to hold on. Managed to bring it down to a 15 thousandths behind the edge. Are you shitting me? Oh yeah. In between 15 and 20 thousandths behind the edge. This thing is just wicked. I mean, such a thick blade stock to come down to such a narrow behind the edge. It's just fantastic. The overall thickness of this blade is coming in of the actual knife itself. The scales coming in at just about 1/2 inch, and the overall height of this blade is coming in at right around 1 1/4 inches. So the height's doing pretty good, especially by comparison to some Spydercos. The overall thickness of the blade itself is actually relatively average. And in this case, average is not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just average by comparison, right? It's all dependent on preference of what you want to carry there. So this is the Civivi. This is its younger brethren, the Civivi Elementum and the Civivi Badlands Vagabond. As you can see, it's a little bit longer than both and much more manly looking than both of these. No offense to any guy that doesn't carry one of those. This thing just looks badass. It does. I mean, if you guys are telling me that this thing doesn't look badass, you're drunk. All right. So this is the feldspar, which is coming in just about the same length. Maybe a little bit shorter, but not much. And the mini feldspar is obviously much shorter. Check your ratatouilles. Here is your rat number 1 and your rat number 2. I'm going to dub the small one is going to be Remy, and the large one is going to be Splinter. Obviously, Splinter's coming in at a little bit longer than the wee mini buster, and Remy is coming in at much shorter than the wee mini buster. Last but not least, we have your 2 Spydercos. As I said in the previous reviews, don't judge this Spyderco, and I don't care if you do, because it's a fantastic freaking knife. It's just not like enthusiast style fantastic. So this is your Spyderco Tenacious, which is coming in at a little bit shorter, and your Spyderco Little Native, which is coming in at much shorter than your wee mini buster. All right, let's do a quick overview, give you my thoughts, we'll talk about the price, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so this gorgeous blade is a bead-blasted, polished finish. I want to reiterate that. It's just awesome. The Wii logo looks awesome. We have this chamfering coming down that's not really a swedge. I mean, it's just kind of like a crown spine that doesn't round off like a normal crown spine, which is pretty cool looking. We have the sheepsfoot style that comes down to a very, very narrow edge, but starts off at 155 thousandths and as a blade stock, and it's just like wow. Let me check my notes real quick. This is a flat grind, so this is just an aggressive ass flat grind. As I said, SNECX design. Don't really know who SNECX is. Maybe he's SNECX. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. All right, so we got a pretty fat stop pin there that you can see externally, and it just kind of adds to some cool aesthetics. I gotta get my lighting right behind me. That just adds to some cool aesthetics right there. So we got these titanium handles, which I believe are bead blasted and polished as well. I could be wrong, but they look like the same exact finish as the blade, and it just looks nice. We have some really large T8 Torx all around. I mean, all these are T8, and that's fantastic as well. I forgot to mention frame lock with a over travel stop. That's a good thing. The frame has quite a bit of tension on it, but it's right where you push this in. This is chamfered and scalloped coming in here, and right where you push this in and disengage the frame lock, it feels really nice. So you can put as much tension on there as you want. It feels so smooth and good. It's a weird feeling. It's weird to say that, but it is. So all around the edges, we have chamfering where you don't have a lot of these milling lines. Like right here, it's chamfered around here, and then it goes into this little scallop section, and then it goes into this chamfering that kind of widens up as it goes towards the base. The whole inside of these titanium scales are completely and utterly milled out. I want to show you guys one more time the amount of work that went into something like this. Let's see if this helps. Look at that. That's a really good angle. Yeah. The amount of work that went into this freaking guy is just insane. And which brings me up to, it is a pocket clip that is not ambidextrous. Which brings me up to the price point. The price point is coming in at around 290 bucks. I think there is a black model that is like a black on black, and then this is the gray model. The gray model has been sold out to my knowledge for some time. I got kind of lucky on Reddit and got this guy, but, yeah. So, what do I really like about this guy? First and foremost, sheepsfoot style blades are just so functional. I was making cuts earlier. I don't really have anything to cut. I'll cut this board because this board is supposed to be self-healing. But it just cuts so nice. Just using that tip and just draw cutting. But then the push cut, it's such a great blade and so just enjoyable to cut with. And I remember when Slicey and Metal Complex like 4 months ago were talking about it, and they were talking about how it was one of the most underrated blades, and then of course we all blow it up and now you can't get one anywhere, right? Just like TRM. But I mean, this one's kind of rightfully so, and I'm sure TRM is, I just haven't held one before. And yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic, fantastic example of what we can do, not we as in me and you. I'm talking about we as a knife company, all right? As far as what we can do, and they just put it all out there and all on display. Just amazing. So another thing that I like, it has these dual road bearings, and it's not like crazy drop shut, right? I mean, it is, but it's not like a guillotine. It's like controlled to the point where it just, hydraulic. Yeah, it's just controlled as it goes down, and that's really cool. I mean, the feeling of it, everything feels tight, but it's just so controlled. But it's still free moving. It's almost like perfectly precision milled stuff. I mean, that's what it feels like out of this. And last but not least, all the details that they put into this handle and inside of the scales and weight relieving to get this down to 4 ounces. I mean, you have to appreciate that. Plus, this bead blast finish that's polished, it looks so good, guys. Oh my goodness, is this a good looking freaking knife? This thing is awesome looking. What are my dislikes? I have one dislike. It's not major, it's kind of a nitpick. This freaking sharpening choil annoys the shit out of me. Make it a finger choil or make it a smaller sharpening choil. I don't need both. Or neither, right? Yeah, you know what I mean. So can I recommend this knife for $290? Yeah. This is one of those times that for $290, this feels like the right price, and I kind of choke as I say that because I came up as a budget guy. As you guys can see, my tastes are changing, but I came up as a budget guy, and I really appreciated the budget knives. And I'm like, I'm never spending $200 knife. I'm never spending $300 knife. I'm never spending. Well, you know, it's exponentially gotten worse, but I can see why this thing costs as much money as it does, and it just makes sense. I mean, all the work that goes into it is just so appreciated. The end finish goal, I hate keep saying it, but this bead blast polish finish looks so cool. It's just a really, really awesome looking knife and just so stupid functional. So yes, for $290, I think that price is absolutely, totally, and completely fair. And after giving it such an awesome review, I have to give you guys a full disclosure. I've already traded this knife for one of my Grail knives. You guys will see. You guys will see when it comes in. But I got one of my Grail knives coming in. Those of you that have been with the channel for a while, you're going to know what it is. Those of you that haven't been with the channel, you will be surprised. Whether or not you like my decision is not really something I care about. I'm just excited about this. Anyways, that was kind of shitty. My name is Tyler. This has been Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe. Genuinely, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for watching. It literally means the world, and I genuinely hope you're entertained. If there's anything I could do to make this any more entertaining, any more informative, or anything else that you guys would like to see, just feel free to let me know. You guys stay sharp, stay safe. I already said the whole spiel. Have a great frickin' day, guys.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. It genuinely means a lot. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, give me some feedback in the comments below and hit the thumbs down button. In case you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon, which will be listed right here. In that Patreon, we're giving bi-monthly giveaways to just the Patreons based on the number of Patreons that we have in the Patreon. We will also be giving discounts on all the knives that I sell based on the number of Patrons. My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great day.